Good evening. I'm Stephanie Rule. Day 15 of the invasion in Ukraine, and Russia appears to have begun a more brutal and devastating phase of its assault. Today, airstrikes on the southern city of Mariupol destroyed a children's and maternity hospital. The horror of the bombing captured in this image of an injured pregnant woman carried out on a stretcher.
Vladimir Putin says Russians should be proud of what their soldiers are doing in Ukraine. But where's the honor in bombing a children's and maternity hospital in a city that's surrounded? No patients were reported killed in this attack, but pregnant women were among those who were helped out of the building. Ukraine called it a war crime and says children are still trapped.
I cannot realize why it's necessary for Russian troops to destroy hospitals.
Russia denied it was responsible, though Russian forces have been cutting off Mariupol for days. The city has run out of basic supplies. We don't have electricity, we don't have anything to eat, we don't have medicine, we have nothing, this woman says. The crater next to the hospital gives an idea of the sheer size of the bomb, dropped in the center of the city. Bodies here are being laid to rest in mass graves, hearkening back to wars Europe thought were consigned to the past.
Richard Engel on the ground in Ukraine. Tonight, there are also concerns Russia may be preparing to use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine. And at the same time, U.S. officials warn Russia is now falsely accusing Ukraine of having biological weapons labs and chemical weapons. They warn that the Kremlin may be making those accusations to try to justify some sort of false flag attack using their own poisonous weapons in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine's president continues to beg for help from the West. In an interview with Sky News earlier, President Zelensky said other nations must act now before it's too late.
They want us to feel like animals because they blocked our cities, the biggest cities in Ukraine, and they blocked and because they don't want our people to get some food, water. Yesterday, for example, children. I don't know if you know the children in Mariupol was the child was dead. Yes, you know that is the idea of this operation, or I don't know how Putin is telling about it. So that is the idea to do with Ukrainians animals, but we are not.
So how do you stop it? Are you prepared to do a deal? You've said you're happy to talk.
We can't stop alone all this. No,
How is it going to
only if the world will unite around Ukraine.
They are uniting around Ukraine.
They are not. They are still. It's still very slowly. It's still very slowly. But you can feel it only when you are here, because the people from Europe or USA, it's far from Ukraine. It's far from the heart of this tragedy, and you can't see, you can't understand the details because you are not fighting here. And I understand why. And I don't want them to fight, but these countries can help, can unite. Because we can't speak about the close, I'm sorry that I'm speaking again and again about this problem, but we spoke about children hospitals, etc. And you know the number of these child deaths and so we are speaking about closing the sky. You can't decide to close or not to close. You can't decide. If you are united against the Nazism and this terror, you have to close.